Hey there, StarCraft fans. It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today it's going to be a rematch. Whoa, come back between Jaedong and PerfectMan on Aztec. This is not the same game that I posted a couple of weeks ago. On the left side of the map, at about the 9 o'clock position, we have the green Protoss player. It is PerfectMan. And at the 12 o'clock position, we have the teal Zerg player. It's going to be Jaedong. All right, so let's talk about PerfectMan a little bit. I've never heard of him before I cast him the last time, but I looked up his Liquipedia page. He played his first professional game in April of 2008 in the GOM TV Classic Season 1. Successfully competed for Hwaswang OZ in Pro League, winning his first appearance against Iris, but failing to have a consistent winning ratio. As of August 2012, he held a professional record of 36%, 0.05 with 31 wins and 55 losses. Post-Caspa Air, he retired 7 months after joining KT Roster. He did not want to transition to StarCraft 2. However, since there was no official retirement information released, it was speculated he retired from KT once he was spotted streaming on Africa. So, I mean, he didn't have, like, the greatest Brood War career of all time, but been around for a while, 2008, and then got stopped at 2012, and obviously took a game off of Jaedong, which, if you want to see a Protoss player take down Jaedong, go back and watch that one. It's one of the greatest PvZs I've ever seen. PerfectMan played it so dang well. Jaedong made some mistakes, obviously, but everybody makes mistakes in Brood War. That's what this game is all about. Meanwhile, Jaedong is going for the pool first play. He doesn't have an expansion yet, which means there's going to be some aggression, which means this here Forge, it needs to finish right quick. Some cannons need to get down, possibly some gateways too. I don't know if he knows. Does he know? No, he's just now scouting this direction. He will notice a lack of an expansion. This pool is just about complete. Some aggression here from Jaedong. I like it. I don't know when this game was played in relation to the previous one, but I like to imagine that Jaedong, after he lost to PerfectMan, was like, all right, let's see how you do against some early aggression from Jaedong. And PerfectMan was like, ah, crap. This is why you probe scout. He sees the 3 sets of lings. He sees the expansion just now getting tossed down. Not anywhere near completing at all. And I don't know if you can get that Nexus up, man. I mean, that's a cannon. I like the positioning for the cannon here. It covers the far side of the Nexus and the front side of the Forge. That's well played there by PerfectMan. He doesn't need to get the wall up, is what he's doing here. He's not panicking. He's not throwing up building after building after building here where the lings can attack it. He's just setting up a bit of Sim City, getting another cannon up here as well, because here come those Zerglings. Those Zerglings are out for blood. I don't imagine this is an all-in from Jaedong. I mean, he is getting an expansion behind this, and I would not be surprised if he started making some drones here. He is getting gas behind it too, so this is not just ling after ling after ling, although it could be speedlings. I don't know. So here we go. That is a gateway. This is a cannon that is almost done. The 3 probes are here to hold against the oncoming onslaught. And there we go. Focusing down 1 ling, focusing down another ling, focusing down another ling. And the lings, now they're down to 2. And now your attack, is just not nearly as effective as it was previously. Perfectly held by PerfectMan. These lings are injured. Sure, they're inside the base, and you're not going to kill them until you get some Dragoons out, which is going to be sometime later. And sure, Jaedong's going to have amazing scouting information against you. But guess what? He has an Overlord in here anyway. So it doesn't really matter. Until the Dragoon's out, neither those lings nor this Overlord are going to die. So might as well just do what you're going to do, PerfectMan. There's really no stopping this at this stage. So there's your gas. That is a lair. Holy cannoli. That is a 3-minute lair after a 6 pool or an 8 pool. It was a very fast pool from Jaedong. Make no mistake. He's going to follow it up with a lair. Is he going to get a second gas here? Doesn't look like it. Still just going to go ahead and pump out Overlords, pump out drones. Get that as fast as he can. There is a Cybernetics core now coming up. Finally for PerfectMan, which will allow him to clear out the Zerg infestation inside his base. Now, a lesser player would lose some of these Zerglings just to drones, or to this Zealot, for example. But Jaedong is capable of macroing up back home, teching up back home, and not losing anything inside the Protoss base at the same time. He just is. That's the level of player that Jaedong happens to be, and that's probably why you clicked on this video, is because you want to see Jaedong. It's just, I don't know, man. Brood War is defined by certain players. If I put Flash in a video, bam, tons of response, tons of views. Jaedong, same thing. Bisu, same thing. 2 of those players in the same video, huge numbers there. But the other stuff, I don't know, other players that are very, very good, maybe not on that tier 1 stratosphere that Flash and Jaedong and Bisu are on. Just, I don't know, there is some attention. Depends on how long the game is. It seems like you guys like the longer macro style stuff. And I can't necessarily say that I blame you. I mean, there can be, honestly, 10 minutes of... Is he going to get a probe kill here? No. Zealot defending. See, PerfectMan doing this pretty well, too, here. His APM is about 3. Well, it was around 300 a second ago. 390, 400 for Jaedong. Is he getting that second gas? No, not the second gas, but that is just going to be a Spire. So it looks like we're going to get a handful of Mutalisks, or possibly, I guess since he saw the Stargate, this is just going to be a couple Scourge here from Jaedong. He's got his third base, happily running down here to the south, too. Somebody always asks, how come they take him so far away from home? And it's just because there's easy access to another main base if you take one far away from home. Usually this is how that works. Every main spawning point has a natural that is pretty easily defended in one specific location, and I mean, there's no question about that. Actually, is this even a main? Oh yeah, this is a natural. He took a natural here, and then he's going to go ahead. Yep, this is what you do against Protoss. You take the low ground. Well, it's not low ground here, but usually the natural base is low ground. You take it with the Terran. You take the main first. Throw up a couple lurkers on the ramp to defend it from any marine medevac attacks, and you're good. But against Protoss, you can just go ahead and take this guy, and then take this guy, and that's a quick fourth base. So far, so good from Jaedong. He didn't get a whole lot done. I mean, he got some perfect scouting information, that's for sure. Still has, by the way, perfect scouting information. It looks like one of the Lings died. 3 of them outside that were scouting around might have been killed as well. Overlord got chased away or ran away. Yeah, ran away once it was clear there was a Corsair coming out of that Stargate. No question about that. 100% Corsair. It's not going to be a scout. Not going to be a scout at all. Scourge chasing that Corsair. Pull back to the cannons, and then there we go. Get out. Get out once those cannon shots start coming in. So yeah, Jaedong is fine. I mean, he didn't kill PerfectMan. He didn't get really any damage done at all against PerfectMan. I'd say PerfectMan should be ahead at this point, and he is. In supply, 56 to 43, but it's 2 base to effectively 4 base from Jaedong. Where is that? That's almost done, right? Yeah, that's almost done. And he's got to get some work here, some work completed, forcing some units out of Jaedong so he can't just continue making drones all the livelong day. And he just seems really passive right now. I mean, PerfectMan, sure, he sent Corsair up, but once the Scourge were present, there wasn't much you could do about that. It's a Queen's Nest. Is he going for a very, very quick Hive? He sure is. Jaedong, man, teching up real hard after that quick pool. I mean, just insanely hard after that quick pool. And by the way, these colors are very close together on the mini-map. I have to, like, actually look and focus on these colors to tell what they are. But I'm trying to keep an eye on that mini-map for you guys. It's something I'm constantly working on improving. Obviously, as you guys notice, I'm not great at it. It's just solo casting StarCraft, whether 1 or 2. And observing at the same time is pretty difficult. You'll notice nobody ever solo casts high-level professional tournaments because it's hard. And it's not as great, it's not as easy to have a great experience. Alright, Scourge flying around trying to find those Corsair, but nah, they're hiding. They're hiding in places where you are not. And actually, where is it? The one actually made it over into the natural base. It doesn't have any kills, but it's been doing some scouting. No big deal. Additional sunken colonies coming up at the natural base for Jaedong. There is that Hive, about 30% complete at the 8.5-minute mark, which is just insane. It's incredibly fast and just relying pretty heavily on that static defense on those sunkens to keep him alive until it gets up to what he wants to get up to. I have to imagine it's going to be Ultralisk, though. I mean, at this rate, with the amount of gas that he's taking, it could be Guardians, but Guardians are bad. That said, he's making 7 Mutas, which indicates maybe he is going for some quick Guardian here. I just don't know. I mean, sure, Guardian's amazing as long as your opponent doesn't have Storm, as long as your opponent doesn't have a lot of Corsairs, as long as your opponent doesn't have a lot of Dragoons. It's hard. It is a hard thing to set up. These Scourge are just the teensiest bit faster than this Corsair is. There's a hit. And it's going to make it home safe. Ready for this? Home safe. Blah. Scourge dies. Corsair's alive. Corsair lives. PerfectMan expanding towards Jaedong a little bit here, trying to take this base in the top left-hand corner. Mutaflock is looking fairly big, surprisingly big. He was trying to kill that Corsair because he knew that the Corsair would be a bad thing for his Mutalisks. And there's one of them here, but oh, never mind, he's completely gone. Another one did show up. Another Corsair did show up here. Mutas flying around, being incredibly annoying right now. What is in production here? More cannons, more Corsairs. Trying to pick off some of these probes. These Mutas, man, there's nothing defending these probes at all. There's one photon cannon in the main base, but actually, oh, that Corsair fleet is somehow amazingly big right now. Crikey, that splash damage split the mutas, so splash damage isn't a problem. And look at them chasing these guys down. Corsairs are so fast. Now the Scourge dive in, though. Can they hit these guys? No. Great control by PerfectMan, keeping those Corsairs alive. That could have been very disastrous in the hands of a lesser player, without question. Continuing to fly around here are the Scourge at 4th base. No sign of a 5th base, but a Defiler round already out at 10.5 minutes. Okay, there's a Greater Spire, so yeah. Definitely. Are we getting more Dark Archon? You guys, I don't know what's going on. I am not picking games because they have Dark Archons, but the games I've been casting for the last about 2 months have so many Dark Archons. It's amazing. It's the greatest thing. I really enjoy it. I love amazing Dark Archon play. If you missed the ZVP that I cast on Thursday, right? On Thursday, like, go check it out because it's amazing. And it has Dark Archons, and I'm not going to spoil anything else. All right, Ling's rolling on into what should be a 4th base by PerfectMan. It's in a lot of trouble, though. These Corsairs can't do anything against these Lings. Lings rolling in. They're taking out cannons quite effectively. Are there enough of them? No, not actually enough Lings to take this thing out. They don't have the upgrades requisite to do that. Corsair just happily murdering Mutalisks. Dodging. Okay, decent hit. One of the Corsairs did end up going down. Lings only have +1 carapace and no attack upgrades at all, so no, they're not gonna get in here and do a whole lot, especially against Archons that are now at the 4th base. So 3rd base running happily. Jaedong will eventually take this as his 5th. I have to imagine that is his future expansion pattern. But yeah, chitinous plating on the way here. Defilers, Nidus canals. I have to imagine we're going to see some ultras at some point, and I just don't know that Guardians are going to be part of the equation here for Jaedong. It's just, when I've seen them, they've been pretty bad. They've been pretty bad on the channel. We don't see them a lot, which indicates they are not all that great. Lings rolling into this Zealot Archon situation. It's not good for you, Lings. One of the Zealots dies, but okay, 2 of the Zealots dies, but all the Lings get massacred there. It is 126 to 87 supply, 12 minutes in. This is where Jaedong starts to rock and roll. This is where he starts to get up in economy. This is where he starts to get up in total army supply. But man, PerfectMan is keeping base count with him. He's got the Archons out already. He's got Dark Archons out. His Corsairs are not dead. That is a huge deal. Another Overlord down. Every one of these Overlords that dies just means another one that Jaedong has to replace. And he's supply blocked on that one. That's 95 out of 100 available supply. Actually, the other way around. 100 supply out of 95 available right now. We got Lings. We got Defilers. The Lings still don't have the greatest upgrades of all time. Still just that +1 ground carapace, which is good. Helps you survive attacks against Zealots. There's your Dark Swarm. Oh, but feedback on the Defiler. Great job. And enough Archons and Zealots in here that the Lings, they shouldn't be able to get this Nexus, and they definitely cannot. It was a good attempt at a snipe. It's down to 300, 200 HP. Where are the Zealots at? There we go. 229 HP, so it's hurt. And it's bleeding and it's on fire, but it's not dead. And that is all that really matters here. In StarCraft, all that matters is that you're not dead. If you're not dead, you're still fighting at 100% attack. Still, with the economy at 100% in the case of where you are in Nexus. So 5th base along the right side here at about the 3 o'clock position from Jaedong. The Guardians are here. Remember I said Guardians are bad? Well, we do have some Guardians out. They're harassing the main base and the 3rd base of PerfectMan simultaneously right now, which is kind of hilarious. Is he actually making something? Oh, just more Guardians. I thought, oh, he does have a Devourer, though. All right, so Devourer increases the damage taken by units and slows their attack speed. It makes Mutas be a lot better against Corsairs, but then there's your Storm, and there's your Corsair, and the Devourer is gone, and now you can go free reign against these Guardians. 3 kills, 3 kills. I mean, they've been good. But have they been worth it? It's 100 gas for a Mutalisk. And then it's another like 100, 150 or 50, 150, something like that for Guardians. It's a huge investment, and they're just not good unless there's a few of them. And they're just so easily killed by a lot of things in the Protoss arsenal is what they are. Another Overlord going to get killed here. Jaedong is close to... Oh, the Scourge, though. Okay. Just one bit of inattention there, and several of the Corsairs have gone down. Are there only 3 remaining? Seriously right now? Okay, well, oh, got a hit, and a Corsair went down there too. That was amazing. Lings rolling into the 3rd base. Can they focus down the Nexus? Yes, absolutely they can. Woo, there's not a lot of HP on that thing. The 3rd base does end up going down. That was massive for Jaedong. The Lings are still running around, still running free. They're going to run into these Zealots at some point. The Zealots with +2 attack. The Lings are +2 armor and +1 attack and adrenal glands, which means they attack real fast. The Dark Templar here with his very smart green cape is trying to clear these guys out too. Archons, pretty great. Archons are pretty much the instant anti-zergling unit. That splash damage of 36 damage. It's really great stuff. All right, so Dark Archon has thrown down a feedback so far. Haven't really seen him use Maelstrom. This feels like a drop attack to me. Maybe he's waiting for PerfectMan to take his third here. Is he going to retake it? Does he have the resources? He has the resources to retake this third. But it's 159 to 116 supply, you guys. PerfectMan is still way up. Despite the fact... Did this get shut down? Ah, this got shut down, and I missed it. Ah, I'm so sorry. There was a huge attack up there, taken down. Oh, good plague. Fantastic plague on those Zealots, catching most of them. But a huge attack over here at this 3 o'clock position of Jaedong's. He lost that probably while he was attacking the third base of PerfectMan. Let's see if we get back in here with the Zealots and try to take that thing down once again. There's not much here defending it if you want to come on in. That said, he's taking a different attack path, heading up, maybe going for the natural base. Perhaps, oh, the army's coming over here to deal with these Guardians. I cannot believe how much work these Guardians have done. I mean, sure, they haven't been incredible. They haven't been game-winning or anything, but at the very least, they're harassing. And at the very least, they're forcing PerfectMan's army to go places they'd rather not go, right? It keeps these side bases alive. A 6th base coming up that right side, too. That seems to be where Jaedong is trying to be. Dark Swarm is up. Storm is up. A lot of Vultures are out right now. Nice plague. Only catching, actually, a Zealot and a High Templar. The Archons do not care a bit about your plague, as it turns out. Dark Archon present, ready to go, has a whole lot of energy. There is your Maelstrom on the Zealots. They cannot attack, they cannot move, they cannot use special abilities for 7 seconds. I want to say it might be a little bit less than that. Actually trying to roll in here with some Lings. I don't see that working, though. Jaedong, is he making Desperation Zerglings right now? Well, Desperation Lings and Ultralisks. As it turns out, what Dark Swarm. Oh my gosh, this whole army just getting absolutely surrounded and manhandled. The Archons and the Zealots doing pretty well for themselves in here. The High Templar doesn't have enough energy. Oh, it has enough energy for one more Storm. Throw down the Storm! High Templar, you can do it. Take down these Zerglings. Come on, High Templar. Oh, he did throw down one Storm. That was pretty good before he got picked off, so at least he fulfilled the important part of his life. Zerglings continuing to just be everywhere for Jaedong right now. 2-2. On those Lings, working on +3 ground carapace. It is almost complete, as we can see in that production tab. We got Lings, we got Ultras, we have Archons, we have Zealots, we have Dark Templar with +3 attack. Any sign of armor for these guys? No. It's only attack, attack, attack for PerfectMan, and it's working for him so far, I'd say. Guardian back. It's got 2 kills and 15 hit points, and he's going to get Stormed. I mean, it's a little bit of a waste of a Storm, but it's free, right? Because energy regenerates at no cost to you. It doesn't cost you resources, so... Hey man, take down that Guardian, even if it is overkill by about 50 damage points. More Archons on the way, getting Plasma Shields upgrades. PerfectMan heard me and said, hey, fine, I'll get some shield upgrades that'll affect everything. It'll help the Archons, it'll help my buildings, it'll help the Zealots and the Dragoons too. Do I actually have any Dragoons? No, but I do have some Dark Templar, and they'll benefit nicely from that upgrade, no question about it. Okay, so we're hanging out. It is 163 to 159 supply. Jaedong has scratched and clawed his way back up to pretty much even in army supply right now. He has taken bases all down that right side. He is on fire. A lot of Archons, a lot of Zerglings, got his Defilers, which he's very happy about. I'm not sure the Archon count is high enough to handle what Jaedong is throwing right now, the heat with which he is throwing. But another base is up here. So that's 5 bases. 5 bases for PerfectMan versus... Is that 7? Good golly, Jaedong's on 7 bases, you guys. 7 of them. Is he coming in? He's coming in. The Lings and the Ultras rolling in on top of the Archons. No Dark Swarm yet. There it is. Dark Swarm does end up popping. Reavers finally have joined the battle, but plaguing the Reavers. Storm on top of the Lings. The army trying to come in and keep these guys alive, but the Reavers are all completely gone. It is just Zealot Archon versus a lot of Ultralisks, and they do end up driving Jaedong away there. PerfectMan looking real good, standing in. It's 141 to 141 supply. We're even, but anytime you can save a base as a Corsair gets taken out by a Scourge against Jaedong, you're going to have a pretty good time. Zerglings now have 3-2. They are working on +3 attack as well. Are we going to take every base on this map? This one hasn't been taken, this one hasn't been taken, and this one hasn't been taken. I feel like we're close. I feel like we're close to taking every base on this map, which is always a fun thing. You know it's a good game when every base, every mineral patch, and every Vespene geyser is being harvested from on a map. Are you dropping? No, it's just an overlord, just scouting around. I guess maybe trying to see what is coming out of these gateways. It's a pretty advantageous position for that, for sure. All right, so just Archon, Archon, Archon. That is going to be the answer for ZVP. That is what I've learned from all of the Brood War casting that I've done over the last couple years or so, is that if you're playing against a Zerg player, you really want Archons. So many Archons, so many Zealots. The Dark Swarm just becomes completely inefficient at that stage. It's not nearly as good as it otherwise would be. Some Reavers would be nice, and he is replacing those Reavers. Is that another? Oh, that's just a regular Archon. All right, so another attack here. Oh, Reavers are back. The Plague on them immediately, though. Wow, but Storm coming on in. The Defiler taking some shots, is still alive. Getting chased away a little bit right now. Not enough energy. Something's trying to cast something right now. 153 to 157 supply. PerfectMan has a lead. Where are these drop lords? I don't know if they are, but they're gonna die. Some of them anyway. Does not supply block Jaedong, however. Don't go up that ramp. That is death to you and the overlords. Maybe they're just there to mess up the targeting on PerfectMan's army. This is an amazing ZVP. I've had some really, really great games to cast recently, you guys. I've been having a great time with it. Again, if you have access to amazing replays of Brood War games you want to see cast in the remastered client, send it to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com with the subject of Brood War, and I will get it cast. Another attack of Lings and Ultras rolling right into these Archons. The Archons just doing terrible, terrible splash damage here. Dark Swarm not coming up because Jaedong... Oh, just kidding. All right, well, Dark Swarm comes up a little bit late to the party. I'm not sure it would have done anything regardless, though, but just more Lings and Ultras rolling in all the time for Jaedong. This Archon has 9 kills, 0 kills, 5, 6, 8 kills. Yeah, the Archons are putting in work right now, and as we mentioned previously a million times, this whole plague doesn't matter. It only affects this number here. It'll bring it down to 3 out of 10, but it leaves your shields alone, and the bulk of an Archon's health pool is going to be in that shields. Is he actually working on Scarab damage? Yeah, increases Scarab damage from 100 with splash damage to 125 with splash damage, which is great. Look at him moving the wounded Archon. Wait a second. Were they all? I guess the wounded Archons go to the front? That was weird. I thought he moved them to the back so they wouldn't die instantly. I don't know. Coming on down to the 6 o'clock position. We got Reavers, we got Zealots, we got Sunkens, but actually a whole bunch of Sunkens too. That said, upgrades matter immensely when you're trying to take down static defense, especially the later you get into the game, as static defense does not benefit from those upgrades at all. And this base is going to go down. Where is Jaedong's army? It's kind of here. I mean, he's going to lose this. It is just a mineral base, but it was pretty healthy and pretty new, so that hurts. Meanwhile, attacking on up to the 4th base location, dropping on everything. Storm can't stop all of this. This is a lot of Ling. This is a lot of Ultra. This is definitely a trade for Jaedong. He let that base die, decided to take one of his opponent's PerfectMans in response. The robotic support bay looks like it's going to go down too. That is no more Reavers for you until that's rebuilt. That's kind of a huge, massive deal, and it does end up exploding. Assimilator down too, and all of this will fall into the ground. We will not notice any Protoss were ever here when all is said and done. Is there a scout? Dude, these games recently, we are seeing units that nobody makes because this. That is why nobody makes scouts, because they're so susceptible to everything, and they're so slow, and they're so expensive for what you get. All right, looks like PerfectMan is going to try to set up here in the bottom left-hand corner, which I cannot blame him for doing so. This is pretty Zerg-infested at the base where he was. Reapplying there is not going to work for you at all. 171 to 169 supply. A bit of an attack in the middle here. Got some Zealots, got some Archons. They do have that +1 shield upgrade, which is real nice for them. Now the counterattack. Can he? PerfectMan looks like he might be threatening for some kind of a major attack. Now does pull back. He pulls back. He wants to defend this new 6th base that he has under construction right now. Can he ever get back the 4th? I don't know, but the 5th base is happy, which is nice. It's only minerals, which doesn't really help all that much when you're making this many Archons. But hey, a lot of Zealots are actually pretty great against Ultras. They are not bad. Dark Swarm up. Plague on the Reavers again. Catching one of the Reavers, but not the second one. Storm going down on the left side and the right side. We're in an absolutely chaotic scene here right now. The Ultra trying to get right on top of the Reavers, but picking them up very patiently here, picking one of them up anyway, and then leaving them behind to do further shots on the Ultralisks. That Defiler takes a shot to the back of the head, and suddenly that is a victory for PerfectMan. That said, it's 125 to 122 supply. It is not like PerfectMan is way ahead at this point. He is going for that 6th Nexus, but guess what's heading this way? Zerglings. Zerglings are going to take down this base, and PerfectMan says, I don't want to attack right into the teeth of Jaedong stuff, but let's take out one of his bases. Crap. Cracklings. Fully upgraded Cracklings are here. Oh, this probe transfer is the worst possible time for that probe transfer. All right, so attacking on in. Hydra's going to be the tech of choice here, but once again, if you have enough Storm and enough Zealots and DTs, it doesn't really matter. There's your detection. Also, man, Reavers. Reaver shut that down so hard. So the Nexus does go down. The probes go down here as well. And Archon is going to take down this hatchery all by his lonesome. And PerfectMan giving as good as he got here. Oh, the shuttle gets taken out, but the Defiler takes a shot from that Reaver and gets cleaned out as well. Another hatchery down here for Jaedong. It is 124 to 104 supply. Jaedong has a lead, but where is his army? Is a handful of Hydralisks. Is that it for him? Where's the rest of his stuff? Okay, a lot of Hydras and Lings down here to the south, but I don't know. That's so many Sunkens. So many Sunkens at this 3 o'clock base that he lost once already. He doesn't want to lose it again, but PerfectMan is going for it. No Archons in here at all. There's also, oh, there is an Overlord in position to detect. At some point, he's going to move in, and yeah, the DTs are in trouble at that point. He just moves over just a tiny bit. No big deal. Zealots trying to take these things down. Ultras and Hydras coming from the backside. And that's your good game. PerfectMan has left the game at 26 minutes and 29 seconds. Yeah, he couldn't break this. It was too many Sunkens. The Ultras and Hydras coming from the backside. Losing this base was a huge problem for him. Losing this base was a huge problem for him. Jaedong was still on how many mining bases? 1, 2. So still 2 mining bases, but that's more than the 1 that PerfectMan was rolling with. Where is that thing? Is it in these clouds? There was a base over here. Am I hallucinating? Maybe you are, Falcon. Anyway, just a fantastically well-played game by both players. Jaedong, he was all right. The tech switch to Hydra was pretty genius. A lot of Archons died there. Sure, a lot of Hydras died to the Storm and died to the Reavers with their shuttles, but there really weren't enough attacks to thin their ranks to the point where it was a problem. And yeah, man, did this guy have energy? Nope, not enough energy for a Storm. This was what was left of PerfectMan's army, and he tapped out. So great job by Jaedong getting the revenge in this game. Let's take a look at the final score. Yeah, pretty even, man. 253,000 points for PerfectMan, 269,000 for Jaedong. Killed 684 units, lost 227. Did PerfectMan, and I mean, Jaedong, it all comes down to resources here. It's just he mined, is that 7,000 more gas? Yeah, 7,000 more gas, 11,000 more minerals, and spent upwards of, good golly, 18,000 more resources overall in that game. So he wasn't as cost efficient here in the units tab, right? But it didn't really matter. The Dark Swarm was good when it didn't really start working anymore. He went ahead and switched over to Hydralisks, which are much better against Archons, much better at picking off units from distance. And it was a fantastic, fantastic tech switch by him. Economy was enough to support it, and he ended up the winner. All right. Fantastic. So that is going to be it from me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.